So you want a BVC conversion trike? Well, first thing you need to do is start with a dirt bike. Mine is a 2018 Husqvarna 501 FE. It was a dual sport model bike that was factory street legal. 6-speed transmission, wide ratio. It's a 4-stroke electric start. Makes for an awesome conversion. It's fast, to say the least. The BVC parts are high quality parts. They're pretty impressive when you see them in person, and I know you guys are seeing a lot of their other builds. They make some great products. On my trike it has DOT tires. I've got additional beadlock rears, paddles for the rear that all come with it. I've got double take mirrors, DOT tires on it, 6-pack rack. Uses 450R rear axle. It's got a new anti-fade hub for the rear brake. Engine skid. Front brakes all hooked up with the rotor adapter from BVC. But it's a great time. So follow along for the video. Just kind of see what it's like taking this trike out for a ride. One thing that's pretty darn cool with a street legal trike is leaving straight from your house. So yesterday is when I did this ride, which was Tuesday, September 15th, I believe it was. A little bit after 7 p.m. Had everything ready and had a chance. I don't live but about 30 minutes from the mountain trails. So went for a little cruise down through town to get this video, and then rode out to the trails to kind of capture and show you how bright this aftermarket headlight I have on here is. So it was pretty cool. So tag along. Always found it fascinating when you ride a street legal trike. It will never cease to amaze me, but you will always have people looking at you. Whether that's a good or bad thing, be prepared if you're going to ride on the street in an area that normally does not have, for the most part, street legal ATVs. They're used to seeing motorcycles, but they're just not. They think, ATV, which is not street legal in Colorado, and see you out on a 3-wheeler, that maybe you're doing something wrong. I was leaving what is called the Rock in Castle Rock. It's an area that people hike. But here, just kind of wanting to obviously fast forward, but show you how cool it is that you can just ride through your downtown area. Makes it awful nice if you just need to get out for a little ride and you don't have any property because you live in town. It's very helpful. But I'm on my way out of town to actually ride to the trails, so that's where we're heading now. Actually several ways to get up to the Rampart Range trails. And these are probably some of the most common trails ridden by people that live near or around the Denver area, but also people come in from all over. So I'm actually going in what I call like the middle way, which is going in on the Forest Service Road, or it's Jackson Creek. I'm having just good time going around. Actually went this route for quite a while, and I did not upload all of that video just due to trying to keep this a little bit shorter. And then here I've made it to a section of trails I'm gonna ride. May be able to tell from this video, but this light, it is a Baja Designs XL80 LED aftermarket headlamp that I put in. The factory light, garbage. Would not even want to consider being out here riding and be able to see. And I don't think the video shows actually how awesome it is. I mean, it is by far my favorite light I've ever had on a ATV, and night riding is not a concern. I would ride any of these trails at night with this light. I had this light on it when we took it out to Glamis, and it made it very enjoyable for night riding in the dunes. Again, like I said, with the factory light, there's no way I would have wanted to be out here doing this. It was garbage. But the high beam there is what I'm on. Works really well. The low beam is actually still really good, and people will flash their lights at you because they think it's real bright, but it's not that bright until you get to this high beam. So here I'm about out of the trail section. I didn't upload all the video again just due to time, but I rode for about 20 minutes on this trail to what's called the north end of Rampart Range. So this comes out into the parking lot, and then right down here will be Highway 67 that I rode back into Sedalia, and then now I'm in downtown Castle Rock, and noticed a police car sitting there and was waiting to see if he would check me out. I drove back around, still nothing. So what's really crazy is with this trike, honestly, other than in Ouray, and I was already stopped, and then a policeman just pulled up behind just to kind of ask what it was, and quick explanation, he understood. I've never been pulled over on this trike. Now part of that, I think, in my local town is a previous street legal trike I built. When I first moved to town, I actually sent them pictures of it to the police department and just said, hey, FYI, you're going to see me out riding this thing around. Here's what it is, what I've done, and explained myself before I ever even got pulled over. I think that might have made a big difference. Moving on though, just sharing a few awesome photos from previous rides with this trike, some of the places I've taken it. Western slopes in Colorado is most of these photos, riding the Trans-American Trail, which also has portions of the Colorado BDR on it as well. And then that is in Moab, Utah, where we ended up. Arches National Park, and just a bunch of cool views in that area. Pretty neat spot, the Utah-Colorado state line out in the middle of nowhere. But it's been an awesome trike. Got checked out in Ouray. No issues though. The trail tire setup that is included with the rear tires that I'm sending with it. I don't have that front anymore. Little magazine article from that trip where it made it into, I believe that was Dirt Wheels. And this is when Went out to Glamis, had a phenomenal time. These paddle tires are included. Just like any other Trike, it does jumps very well. And I wish I had some video footage from the dunes, but I didn't take that much back then, and it was pretty phenomenal, the difference in riding this Trike versus original older Trikes, just as far as power goes. When it comes to doing and shooting some of those hills, not a big deal. Good times. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and kind of get an idea of what it's like to own a dual sport Trike and the possibilities. And hopefully the new owner that ends up with this Trike will end up enjoying it just as much as I have and make more memories with it.